If you're publishing on Amazon KDP in 2026 and you're anywhere near AI, be it a cover, a translation, a first draft, anything, there are 6 rules that decide whether your account survives. And the one thing everybody is afraid of, that AI disclosure box on the upload page, is actually the safest thing on this list. Here's the thing. Amazon says disclosure is internal. It doesn't show up on your product page and the readers never see it. So checking that box costs you nothing you can measure. What costs people their accounts is what's in the rest of this video. And I've ordered these by how expensive they are. So number 1 is the one that ends accounts outright. Number 1, lying to the box or just quietly not mentioning the use of AI. When you publish, Amazon asks directly whether your book contains AI generated content. If it does and you say no, that's not a formatting mistake. That is a policy violation on the record. First offense, the book usually gets blocked or removed. Repeat it a few times and the account goes with it. And appeals on account terminations are not a coin flip. Most of them fail. The bitter part is that the honest answer would have cost you nothing. People are torching their accounts to avoid a checkbox that readers never even see. The reason why authors do this is because they assume the disclosure means a label, a warning sticker on the book. Well, it doesn't. It's a compliance record between you and Amazon. Number 2, believing that editing AI output turns it into all of a suddenly AI assisted. Well, this is a definition trap, and I guess more authors get this wrong than anything else on this list. Amazon's definitions work like this. If the AI created the first version, be it text, an image, a translation, then that content is AI generated. Even if you spent 40 hours rewriting it, even if the final wording is mostly yours, that starting point decides the category, not the finish. AI assisted is the other direction. You wrote it and the AI helped you edit, brainstorm, or check it. That direction needs no disclosure at all. So the test is simple. Who made draft 1? If the machine did, you disclose. If you did, then you don't need to. As far as I can tell from the guidelines, there is no amount of editing that flips a machine draft into a human written one. Pretending otherwise puts you back at number 1. Number 3, the cover. This is the one that catches people who never used AI on a single sentence. You wrote every word yourself and then you generated a cover in Midjourney or used an AI illustration for chapter headers or an AI translation for the Spanish edition. Amazon questions covers, text, images, and translations separately. A human book with an AI-generated cover still contains AI-generated content, and the box needs to say so. Skipping it because it's just a cover is a violation. Number 4, publishing at machine speed. Back in September 2023, when AI books started flooding in, Amazon put a hard ceiling on publishing volume, 3 new titles per day. They have since clamped that down even further to only 10 titles per week. But the real rule underneath is broader volume patterns that are a signal. Accounts pushing out dozens of near identical low content books trip the same review systems, and by most accounts those reviews are largely automated. That's why the shelf is full of videos about sudden terminations with one cold email. You are not going to out-argue an automated pattern match after the fact. The move is not to look like a pattern. Fewer books, each one actually different, and each one you defend to a human. Number 5, publishing what Amazon calls disappointing content. This is an older rule that AI made urgent again. Summaries and workbooks of other people's books, content freely available on the web, or books that exist to fill a niche rather than to be read. None of that started with AI, but AI made it cheap to produce at scale, so enforcement got a lot less patient. If your book is an AI-generated summary of someone else's bestseller, you're stacking Rule 5 on top of Rules 1 and 2, and honestly, at that point, the account is on a countdown. And number 6, the one nobody on YouTube is covering, the accusation you didn't earn. Readers are starting to leave 1-star reviews calling books AI-generated on books that were published even before ChatGPT existed. We covered a case exactly that on this channel, human books years old getting AI accusation in reviews. So even if you've never touched a large language model, you have some exposure here. What actually helps is receipts. Keep your drafts, your revision history, your research notes. If you used AI for anything, disclose it accurately so there's no gap between your record and your book. And if the accusation matters, a documented writing process is the difference between a shrug and a takedown. While Amazon's going to do what Amazon's going to do, I can tell you that an author with receipts is in a completely different position than an author without them. So the decision rule for all 6 is one sentence. Answer the box honestly and know which side of draft 1 your content sits on, and keep your receipts. The disclosure is free and the lie is expensive. If account risk is what you're thinking about now, the other video where this shows up is the one on KDP keywords that can get your account suspended, because metadata has the same zero tolerance rules that AI content does, and it's linked to below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.